Okie dokie. It's a Friday. We got lots of things going on. Cover some of the top ones, but I want to let more people jump in before I start just diving into it. Otherwise, I know we'll kind of do the whole roundabout scenario, but it's what we're here for anyway, so I'm just having fun with it. If you want to come up and chat or ask questions before I start rambling, that would be awesome, because otherwise it's just going to get me like right into me just rambling away, and nobody wants that, do they? Oh, here comes the awkward silence, y'all. That's what we asked for, I guess. Let's start with this then. If nobody's going to come up to try and ask any questions or help me wait for more people to jump in. Oh wow, look at that! People heard the shake in my voice and they said, "I got you." You know, I gotta give a shout out to these legends, Yobs, POV, Jerry. I hope they all ask the hardest questions possible now. Jerry, what's going on?
Yo, what's good,
Hey,
Dan?
man. What's good, guys? What's good? Hey, Cass, Yuga just released a statement on OpenSea's policy on royalties. It's obviously very early on, but Artifact maybe has a couple days to think about it as the other projects have. What do you, or is there anything the team is thinking about considering, or has there been any talks about it? I know you can't probably share if it's not officially announced, but just curious as what the team is thinking, what the perception and perspective is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna say this because there's not as many people in here right now, and it's funny. And I saw Max Money just jumped in, but I did send him a tweet that I had to draft about artist royalties and the changes that are coming to the space. We're all aware of it. I feel it's the writing was kind of on the wall over the past like 6 months. If you saw how things were going with Blur, and once people figured out that you could subvert paying royalties, I think it like I said, the writing was on the wall there that some of these things might happen. So the team has always been, I'd say, especially this past year, once that news has came out, we've been paying attention on to hey, this stream of revenue might not exist because of this, and that's just how we have to operate and kind of continue moving forward as such. Which at the end of the day, I think it sucks for Web3 more than it does Artifact specifically, because it's one of the big props of it. But I'm not going to get too deep into that because that's a whole different spaces topic. I know. Yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's what I was kind of just interested in. I know that Sam and Max have both been coding in enforceable royalties in the contracts of the new collections as well, right? Like Animus, for example. Even on Blur, you have to pay the royalties to the creator. So I think that's definitely going to be more seen in newer collections moving forward, which the space is so young. So I could definitely see that. I could see other blockchains, like I know Luxo is a big one that can enforce that as well. So anyways, yeah, I just was just curious. Yeah, so that thanks, that answers the question. Just it's on everybody's mind. So yeah.
Hey, Jared, that was a solid topic, to be honest, because I was just thinking, like, since it's this little sector of the bear market, I know, like, a lot of different projects are probably thinking of ways they want to redirect what they might be trying to do. And so this is probably the best time for, like a decision like that to be being considered, because that marketplace royalties thing is a big deal. And also, I know y'all noticed, like, the whole like creator topic concept has been a real big thing, even outside of Artifact, but in a lot of different companies I've been hearing, highlighting creators and content creators. Even with I'm not even a fan of the D gods, but they've been speaking on that a lot more. Because I didn't hear it at first until the other day we were in here talking about it, or Bad Take, my bad. But yeah, no, creators are definitely getting highlighted more. And so for OpenSea to make a decision like that is kind of insane, you know? But yeah, I also been seeing a lot of y'all posting y'all fit pics and the clothing and stuff, and like recently over the last week, I probably connected with about 20 of y'all on Instagram, so that's pretty cool.
I think clothing is actually a good thing to touch on, because I know we still have some people waiting on season 1 stuff, which those shipments are definitely going out, still getting through almost all of it. We're almost at the point where I would say it's going to be a majority, if not everybody, should soon have their stuff. And if you don't, obviously feel free to reach out and make sure we're aware. Just go to forgingandartifact.com, and we want to make sure we get all of that to you. But I'm excited because, like POV said, and as a lot of you probably have seen, it's just super cool once like everybody gets their stuff and you see it on person in the wild, people posting. So I think one of the other, I'm literally reading. I don't even think Mr. Tevington's here. He might be still on like international time zones, but I'm reading some of his questions and I'm going to try and answer some of them off in a second. Let's let Yobs talk first, and then we'll go to Jerry. And since we're starting to get more people in here, we'll be able to answer the questions that some might want to hear. But let's go, Yobs. What's good? I feel like I just saw you 20 minutes ago.
What's cooking, man? I ain't even gonna lie, I didn't like really have too much to say. I just came up because you was here by yourself. But since we're here, I wanted to know if you could say anything about crypto kicks, IRL. Is that something we could talk about?
All right. I think that was one of the questions. That's question number 3 from Senor Tevington, and is literally our CIRL still going out this month. M2E being implemented from the jump. So one thing I can definitely say, the move to earn, that portion isn't going to be out yet because people need to actually have their shoes, and then you obviously need to make sure that you can track with those shoes, aka an app of some sorts. So, just got to make sure everybody has everything, all the ducks in a row. And once the quests are ready to launch, we'll basically announce that and have people moving to earn rewards, much like they have kind of hinted at in the past. So I'm definitely happy to see that people are getting ready for that. CRLs need to just make sure we talk with. I usually have updates every Monday, but I'll make sure we get more updates on if it's going to come exactly the end of this month or if there's any pushing happening. But obviously, we're getting close. So we'll be sure to let people know. And as always, if things do move back, it's usually not for fun reasons, but some reasons specific of some sort. So always just trying to make sure you guys at least know when things are coming out. Let's see. We'll go to Jerry's question first, and then I'll answer because I got 2 more from Tevi still. 3 more, I think.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's kind of in line with the CIRLs and season 1, like syncing the merch in the app, which is not out yet, of course. But I just was wondering if you could answer a question around some sort of a delegate mechanism. We ran into this last night, so it's kind of on topic, but being able to delegate a wallet so that people can use their like MetaMask on their phone to sync, or if it's going to be in the app, if we can use our MetaMask to sync it because we have our app that's delegated to a hot wallet instead of always connecting our ledger and stuff. So I know that's a security question, but if you had any ideas on how that's going to be rolled out? I know it's not active on the Artifact website. That's why I'm asking it for now and later.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's something that a few people brought up and definitely was going to touch on. So, yes, the delegate portion isn't on the website currently, but we are definitely planning to have it for the next version. And that is something I would say people will obviously keep an eye out for. The new versions of the website will be fun to to talk about in future spaces. But in terms of right now, I think the only areas that we really have the delegate set up is for the event RSVPs, if you're RSVPing for any of those things. And then we are planning to incorporate it into some other micro sites that are needed. But yeah, I definitely understand the concerns, and we're gonna make sure as we go through and make these changes and updates that we keep these things in mind. I think the main thing, but obviously a huge overhaul, and so not a whole lot of changes trying to be made on that regard. We do have some updates that will come related to the Artifact website, but a lot of focus is still going into how things will transfer over. But let me answer this one question because it was kind of related to what I just said about the events, and I feel like I'm just like referring back to some like ancient texts by looking at Senor Tevington's long message. But he was asking about the main event for Artifact. Specifically, he was like, would love to know when the main Artifact event will take place. It was it US or overseas? I think it's good to note a lot of the people in Bad Take have been talking about it, and I chimed in, I think, the other night as well. But the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 person events, those ones are really, really hard to manage and take a lot of planning. And so even though we're still going to have all sorts of events across the globe, I don't think we're going to have multi-million dollar 3,000 takeover person like a city block type event in the coming months, especially with all the things that we have planned for the rest of the year. So it's part of the reason why we started building out the Clone World Tour stuff, because moving forward, it also just isn't realistic to expect everybody to try and make just one giant event. And it also puts a lot of burden on the team to make that one specific event become exactly what it needs to be, or what it, and typically, y'all, when we do events, it's not like there is nothing other than let's just make sure that the holders are having a good time. So, that's why the goal is to create these more regional and accessible places that people can go. And so I hope anybody who is in the US area or interested in traveling to US makes the Anaheim one. If you're interested or going to Singapore, Token 2049, super excited for those people who are going out there. And I know there's going to be a lot more in the future. But let's go ahead and throw it to Secretly, and then we will go to Compounds.
Hey, what's good? So I'm thinking like it's just an idea, because some people aren't going to come to like these events. Is it possible we could, I don't know, because usually you guys give like airdrops to people who came and like RSVP. So any way we could like get something for the people who don't come? Like, can we RSVP and not take tickets away from other people and still like get like a special like Pope or something you could bring to the... Listen, I'm for the people, bro. Don't laugh at me, bro. This is just an idea.
Hey, well, look, I don't think it's a bad idea either, and I think it's something we can try to consider and we can figure out. I'm gonna stop talking because I don't know. I don't want to start.
Yeah, I know. Once in a while, like if there's ever
Thanks,
like these
Cass.
world events, you should definitely try to do it. Like we appreciate it, Cass, and we love to hear the alpha. And
damn, what did I say, bro? No, I'm kidding.
Hey, are we gonna token gate the stream so that the streamers can be even more specially appreciated?
No. That's look, y'all.
Do it, 100%. No, I'm kidding.
We definitely want to make sure that any experience that we put out, that people can kind of also be a part of it if they're not in person. That's why if you look at the Google forms in my bio, if you want to submit to help put on an event or just have any ideas for the events, some of the ideas we've hinted at are things like live streams, because obviously it's really just easy from that point for people to still feel like they're seeing what's happening and they know what's going on. It's not so isolated. I definitely understand secretly seeing all the cool stuff that people get in person, but that's also part of what makes the IRL events fun, is that there's stuff that people get because they show up and they get to have a good time. Granted, the most fun is actually like just meeting the people and realizing it's not a bunch of, I mean, it is a bunch of cartoon pictures on the internet, but like it's a lot more than that as well, and it can be a lot more than that if you let it be. Speaking of, I think Compound might tell a story of how I tried to give him alcohol poisoning. Please don't tell that story, because I feel like I did give you alcohol poisoning or something.
Hear ye, hear ye! Townhall has commenced. Nah, dude. I don't know what you're talking about, Cass. I don't think that ever happened.
Perfect drink. What did I? Anyways, go ahead.
You kind of answered my question. It was something I asked the other night. Was how, from what I understand, these are kind of community spearheaded events supported by Artifact. So for secretly, like, let's get in Dre's DMs to make sure that he gets a POAP made. I'll tell him too, and then because it's CloneX LA is supporting as well, get some POAPs out there. But from what I understand, is it's community led with Artifact support, and I was going to ask, how do other communities like Canada and the rest of them kind of get involved and get on the Clone World tour? But you answered it already. I just was that's all I was asking.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Link in the bio.
Yeah, I think the big thing was with the community led part is knowing where the ideas are that people want to see, because it's so easy to, I feel like, to give people what they want if everybody's telling us, if everybody's telling us this is what you want to see, then let's make that happen. And I think that is a segue into the clone, what I think you'll start to see is going to be dubbed the Clone Award live stream, and some of the stuff that has to do with the Murakami pill announcement. I think it was clear people obviously had talked a lot about wanting to see more of the core like builders and people that are here being highlighted, being platformed, rewarded one way or another. And obviously the Murakami pill was just like a great opportunity for that. I know some people are kind of a little worried. They might feel a little FOMO. I definitely understand, but at the same time I have to say, if it's a prize, it's gotta be something people want. Otherwise it's not prize worthy, and then we're just placating. So I think this is a cool prize, and I think others would agree. And so I hope when people see, who is selected, it's not a moment of, that should have been me. And if you think it should have been you, then let's make it happen. I'm down to see, I'm down to see everybody win in the end. It's just, there's only 3 pills going out, but we do have other people that we're also highlighting and going to be spotlighting. Cause once again, just like I think I said, everybody wants to see the Kuro clone visibility, as he likes to say. And so this is going to be a fun opportunity, I think, for that. And I'm excited for, just for everybody who's going to be platformed, for all the people who've been watching and waiting for things like this. It's a fun moment. So I'm excited, but let's keep it moving. If there are questions, feel free to jump in, jump up. I'm chatting. I don't know how long I'm going to be on. I think I got to jump off around 3-ish. But Kuro, let's go to you, and we'll figure out when this ends later.
Yeah. Thank you. I just need to know, are there any clones in Canada? Other than myself.
Ayo.
This is a wild question because it's never come up before. I just almost assume that it's just as rare as my clone. So
Carl, you just got to go outside and see all the clones walking around, man. Because I hear the
We
accents.
got
They
a
come
clone
in
down there
heavy.
waving.
No, those are just NPCs. Those are not Murakami's timeless art. I'm not gonna accept that.
Oh my gosh, you can't be discriminating against the clones. One clone equals one clone. We remember these rules. But no, there's definitely Canadian clones, and I know there's been some especially Toronto folk that have been pushing for that. And yo, I am down. What do you mean?
Well,
Come
they
on,
need
do you
to
think I
tell
ain't
me.
playing?
Like, I showed you the venue already. I just don't know who's a Canadian clone or not, other than Tetra and Gigi. Those are the only two Canadian clones that I know.
We got one waving in the bottom of the crowd though, for sure. Yeah.
Hey, Curl,
$604.
we gonna
Okay.
get those numbers up. Don't
Oh,
worry.
I feel like my clone gets rarer
April.
if I come into Canada.
Is there a? Well, I don't know. Canada's bullish on really nice venues, so I don't know about that. We're a different vibe up here, to be honest.
I can tell, man.
Yeah, if you guys want to throw me into that group chat, I will. If there is a Canadian group chat, I'll show you guys the venue, and yeah.
Re-add him to the group, please.
Wait, no, I wouldn't have left. Maybe I left that. I leave every group chat once a week.
I just messing with you, bro.
No, but you're right though. I leave every group chat.
Please re-add him to the Canadian Clones chat, please.
I tried to leave my own group chat every week, and then it tells me that it would shut it down, and then I'm like, dang it.
Bro, you leave with your alt just to make yourself feel like good. I know you do, bro. I know you do. In your own chat. All right, back to you, Kaz.
Yeah, let's throw it to let's start to Ilan. Ilan, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? Stoked to hear you out here kind of relaying the good info. Glad to see all the familiar faces, of course. I think my my sort of main question at the moment in this sort of format, this town hall format, is will or has the team sort of thought about more activations for the clone community online? I mean, I think that this particular event and series of events, this Clone World Tour thing, lends itself really nicely to a creator challenge, especially with the technology upgrades that have happened with OnCyber. For example, having or running a team spearheaded with Artifact Guardrails, a creator contest on creating an online venue that allows everybody to suit up in their BRMs and, attend, together in a badass space that one of our talented creators put time, energy, and effort into for the community, and really, sort of show off the tools that this project is all about. That includes, our VRMs, that includes the pod ecosystem, that includes the collaboration with OnCyber, something that I sort of dreamt about in the early days of the pods, and especially the pod burn, was a potential to dock with a mothership. And if there was a creator challenge creating a mothership that you could port into in your VRMs, and we could all sort of party in there together. The live stream obviously is put up on screen in there, so that we have those sort of experiences that are able, everyone's sort of able to to jump in there and do it, because you know, the Gokusen was a good example, right? Because you know, it was token gated. People got in there. The blades were handed out for attendance. That way, you get to identify the, you know, the still active community members, because they're using their tokens. They're jumping into on Cyber. They're participating. You know, they're creating those connections that are, you know, fundamental to any project like this. So yeah, man, just floating that balloon, see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I think there's a couple parts, a couple of ways I could answer. I think part A is I definitely like where your head is at with the creator challenges, and I think there's quite a few concepts in the works. Don't want to talk too much about those because it's always fun to just let the surprises be, but we're definitely trying to make sure we just level up the challenges and just make it, you know, a lot of just that opportunity. Yeah, dope opportunity for people. In terms of having more online activations or a space specifically for the live stream, I want to say yes and yes. Definitely been in touch with a dope creator about having a space for everyone to jump into. And I feel like, you know, Alan, I think it might, you know, just thinking about what you're saying, it might actually be good to open up some of those planning conversations a little bit more with some of the others, because I think there could be some more fun, just like co-community building on that front, as we like to do in this group. But yeah, I think aside from that, in terms of like general like online experiences and how they could be in the future, I think it's always been important to this group, because we all see that the future is definitely kind of digital, so we don't want to leave people out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sort of intro to that was, you know, some of the quests that happened in this ecosystem, you know, in early days, Monolith Quest in particular, and that was still, you know, something in my mind that that I remember so fondly, and created, you know, some really good. I hope that, you know, that we can sort of leverage that a little bit more. I hope that, you know, there are a lot of, like you say, a lot of dope creators, a lot of people out there that are kind of doing their own thing, that I feel like, with a bit of incentive and a little bit of you know, a platform to co-create and collaborate, could, you know, really come up with something super sweet. I think it's really untapped. And has been untapped for quite a while, which is cool, because it allows people to sort of, you know, go on their own little tangents on, you know, what they're interested in, and really utilize their assets for themselves. But in the grand coming back togetherness of a Clone World tour, and, you know, what Artifact has in the pipeline, I hope that we see a lot more of that sort of dovetail into each other, for sure. And obviously we have a lot of new members that weren't around during those times. So, you know, obviously they hear us talk about it, but there's nothing like being a participant in it. You know, it's being surrounded by it, being immersed in it. And so, yeah, so hopefully we'll see some of that. Thanks, Cass. Thanks, brother.
Man, I would love to be back foaming at the mouth trying to figure out what was inside the monolith, because there were a lot of days I was trying to solve puzzles purely just to solve puzzles, and I was not going to solve them, but it was fun, and I definitely agree. There is it's just the you know, camaraderie stuff, the fun like community building that kind of came along with it. I think that was just one of those unique times in our group's history. So I agree, Ellen. We'll see. There's always lots of ideas being thrown around. I'm excited for the future and how things might go. Let me think. There's a question that Tevi asked. There's a couple of questions that he asked that I feel like it's like I can't answer, but I feel like for the sake of the town hall of sorts, reading them out and then not answering would be pretty much exactly what would happen before. But one of the questions he was asking, is Animus still launching this year? Last week of December doesn't count, even if it's technically this year. Wait, he's saying the last week of December doesn't count? I think his he meant does count. Yeah, I can't say when Animus is launching, but what I can say is that there's definitely a lot of attention and work going into it, and anything that we are trying to say is an upcoming event, I would be confident in saying that's what's going to be upcoming, and you can keep that in your back pocket for whatever it may mean to you. But I think the big thing to just keep in mind is we're working through the timeline in ways that it's really just what's best for making all of this story move forward. I think a lot of people can kind of notice how we've approached this past year, where it's been a lot of the previous roadmap items that we're going after first, and so I'm super excited to see all of this stuff roll out, because I know it's a lot of work, a lot of dope excitement coming with it too, and I think people just want to have a better understanding of when, and that will definitely come. So I'm going to let the official communication channels answer those questions, and I think those channels will definitely start to improve even more so over the coming months. That's the goal, at least, so oh boy, this is who we needed for the town hall. It wouldn't I feel like I need to be like sweating at least like 3 NDA breaks, and so far it's been kind of easy. So Shadow, I'm hoping you got some CFO boardroom type questions that I'm not allowed to even sniff for me. So what's going on?
No, I was just listening. I'm still working, going through all this stuff, but I mean, you said something. I just want to make sure I heard it right. So pretty much what you're saying is, if something is announced as a upcoming event ahead, we should just expect for that to be an upcoming event ahead. Am I hearing that, understanding that correctly?
Yeah, I would hope that in this world of Artifact, when we say upcoming events, it means that's what's coming, and I hope you would understand that as well. Now, what I would like to stress though is the specific order. I know people were trying to speculate on that stuff, and even on as we talk more about these things, I don't want people to feel like just because one item has happened on the upcoming events now, nothing else is happening and the team is done for the year. But I think that was the just start of us trying to make sure people understood what's on the timeline, and there's more ways that we're going to try to help bring that communication to the forefront. So
No,
yeah.
yeah, I understand, man. I mean, there's three things on the website right now that says it's upcoming, but one of them actually is an upcoming event. So just wanted to make sure I understood that correctly. But unfortunately, I'm going to be missing the IRL event, even though I am kind of sad about that, because people told me that sometimes you may like to drink, and I see that as a challenge for any Artifact team member. If I see drinks going down, I'm definitely going to be trying to extract the information. But that was it. I just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly.
Now, to clarify, that was actually one of the first Clone LA meetups, and we all shout out to the CloneX LA group, but we all took turns bartending, and so Compound, he unfortunately met his maker and asked for some sort of drink from me for some ungodly reason. And I'm just a friendly person, y'all. I'm the type of person, if I'm gonna pour you a drink, you tell me to stop. And that's literally what I would say to people. I'd be like, look, you tell me to stop. And we would be like having a conversation. I guess like we just didn't, he never told me to stop. So that's that story. Now, when it comes to actual, at the events, man, I don't know. I got too much stuff to do. I'll be running around most of the day, trying to make sure everybody's happy and having fun. But Shadow, I wish you were coming. It would be dope to have you. If not, we'll come out your way to the Texas parts.
Oh yeah, anything in Texas, man. It's just that week for me. We planned a training, and so like my whole team is, it's been months of planning, and it just bad timing is the exact weekend. So yeah, but no, it's all good. I should be able to make it out to the next one or any events that are at least nearby, or within, United States. I don't know if I'll be able to make out to an outside the country event unless it is a main artifact event, but you kind of already explained that. So yeah, I'm interested, man. I want to make it out to as many as I can for sure.
Yeah, I think you kind of just summarized exactly why world tours kind of have to happen the way we're trying to make them, because a lot of people can't always travel outside the country. Even people in Europe, they might not be able to really get outside of their like immediate surrounding few countries. And so, it's one of those scenarios where we understand the value and we see what happens when people get together and everybody gets super excited and the energy just keeps rolling. But we also know that it's not easy to put this stuff together, and we can't expect fully for holders to try and source everything and figure it all out. So we're making the dream work with a little bit of teamwork. God, I did not mean to come with the lame poetry and rhymes, but that's what happens when I start rambling for too long. I think the only other questions that I wanted to make sure we talked about, not sure. Yeah, I don't think I think we covered most of the stuff that I was gonna bring up. I know pinned some of the I pinned some of the dunk images up to the top because obviously that's something important to note for anybody who is who is interested. I know there's been people who've been talking and wanting to know more about that, and so I think we're gonna keep showing and kind of bringing people along on what the process is and how these shoes are being made, as well as the timing of everything for the forging event. So definitely stay tuned for anybody who does have those NFTs. It's going to be similar to the previous forging events where there will be a forging cost. But yeah, I'm just going to let the official communications come more on the details of that. But dope. Any other questions? I think the only other things to keep in mind is we do have, like we kind of said, CRLs shipping coming soon. We'll confirm exactly when people can expect to see those. Then after that is going to be Air Force Ones, which I'm just excited to go beat up some human Air Force Ones. And then, yeah, we'll be in towards the end of the year, which it's kind of crazy, y'all. Like, it's almost been 2 years that clones have been in existence. So like, this has been a wild ride, in my opinion. It's like, just thinking where everything was like a year ago, or even 3 years ago, it's just absolutely insane. I see we got Johnny on stage. What is going on, my guy? I see you've been coming with all the drip picks today.
Yeah,
Lately, like, killing it.
yeah, man, I appreciate you. Well, I mean, you guys supplied me with the drip, so gotta wear it. Clothes and shoes are meant to be worn. But I don't know if you mentioned it or updated. I would assume it's still on time as far as the Murakami DNA jackets or like any of the actual varsity jackets as far as shipping, as far as the end of the month, or is that still kind of up in the air?
Those are going out after the batches of the current season one. I think we should have those starting to move pretty soon. And like I said, we'll make sure to just have updates a little bit more specific as we get closer to those dates, just to confirm. But Yeah, I'm excited for my DNA jacket. Definitely want to flex on some of the Murakami fans that have never seen a collab like that. But yeah, I think Hondro just jumped up as well to answer some on that topic.
Yeah, so the varsity jackets I think are scheduled to get to the disbursement warehouse like I think like the last week of this month. So basically as soon as they get in, like we can kind of put in the order to ship them out. So it should be either like the last week of this month or like early September that the varsity jackets, both Murakami and Undead, go out. And then Alien Puffers are still, those are like middle, late October supposed to get in, since we basically threw away the entire OG designed and basically made it to look almost exactly like the NFT.
Dope. Gonna say, any other questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? If not, you guys got DMs open. You can send all sorts of messages. I'm a really easygoing person, and I will talk to you regardless of how angry you are. So it's all good. But yeah, I think there's a lots of work in the mix. That's the only thing I've been stressing over the past few months, I feel like. And I think it's slowly starting to come to a head for people, and they can see it. But it's exciting to see how a lot of these like year-long works of work come together and then finally get to just, yeah, shown to
I like how
everybody.
you said the year-long work to work, because that's definitely, I think that's why we all just chilling, you know, like y'all doing like big power plays that take time to like culminate everything together. So I'm rocking.
I appreciate that, man. I think it's and it obviously the hats off to especially the founders and what they started from the beginning, because a lot of these ideas, like, it's years worth of work and getting all of these details aligned, going over all of the the necessary steps. Because I think I said it under like GWAP's post about how a lot of us on Twitter, we have great ideas, and it's really easy in 140 characters to put a great idea down. But once you have to actually like do it, it's going to take you a little bit more than 140 letters. Like, there's going to be some work to it, but it's all good. I think that's the fun part, and I think the best part is that this group and a lot of others who are active can be a part of it one way or another. Shadow, what's good?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, going back to, I think maybe it was the last town hall. I'm not sure. I think it maybe was, where you were like, look, potentially, not potentially, 4 weeks from now, it'd be totally different conversations. Looks like 4 weeks was right about right, man. Did we see everything that you had in your brain that day, or we got more to see?
Bro, I honestly, and this is what I'm going to say because it's so funny. When you said that, I immediately thought, man, there's still so much more than I was thinking. But look. The 4 weeks comment, when I said that, that was me thinking about one specific moment. And it's like every time I get into these conversations, there's just so much stuff that like is going on. Obviously, you guys see the upcoming events alone. You also see the things that people are teasing out. Shout out to Harlan. He was talking about adding clones into some test ideas, that which I highly recommend you submit your post or your clone to his post. I'll just go ahead and pin that. But yeah, there's everybody on the team. Honda, I don't even want to mention what this man is taking bullets for taking bullets for us for. But is there's just too many people doing too many things, and it's all coming together. And I think somebody had asked at one point, and it's so funny because it's like, I don't know how we got away from this this topic that like, you know, a group or business is just gonna like only operate on one thing. But you know, people had asked me, they're like, you know, is the stuff that's coming up or this, you know, stuff coming out this year, is it like, you know, just like more things, or is it like more of like the foundation? And I'm like, yo, y'all, everything you're seeing is a foundation of some sort. Like, you know, it's the core of what we've been talking about Artifact doing since the essence of clones, since before clones, since they started, you know, dropping just 3D shoes. So it's really just the build up and just building out of all of these different aspects. And I think any of the areas that we're lacking, like, let's figure that out, let's build it out better, and then we're going to be even more prepared for the next wave, or to bring more people into what we're doing. So I think it's fun, man. If you take a long enough time horizon, obviously with what's happening, it's easier to see how things are progressing. But in the short term, it's a lot of people working really hard on a bunch of different projects that, yeah, that all land under the Artifact umbrella. But Boo, I see you jumped up here, my guy. What is going on? How are you doing?
Yo, hello, Artifact family. I just wanted to come up here and bring some mad flowers, okay? I've been shouting out Artifact creators pretty much every week I do a Spaces. Why? Because they've been highlighting a lot of us. We're still here. We're still doing it. I got my merch in. God damn it, Clegg, Benoit, Zaptio. Keep putting them YKK zippers on every single thing that has a zipper. I literally would hang my mother's life on a YKK zipper. For real. I signed blood on that. I appreciate y'all actually doing the quality. Hondro came up here, dropped some major alpha, said, yo, we heard what y'all said about that puffer, and we scrapped it, and we're going to hit it hard. So I appreciate that everybody's listening, and that distribution, that goes a long way. So I'm glad that y'all are taking it. I can't fucking wait to get that undead so I can go against the Murakami DNA. Let's rival.
Oh man, he bringing up old beef. He bringing up old beef now. Look, I am very excited. But this is the fun part. I think we're seeing all of the you know, the storm of what we had last year, where people were pointing out a lot of the shortcomings, and it's just literally been a year almost of that, of a lot of us just continuously working at things that we feel like can be improved, and it's only going to continue. You know, you're talking about the group of very creatively competitive and driven people that were already trying to do 1,000 things. So it's not so much a matter of us trying to do even more. It's just really settling in and making sure we know exactly that we're hitting the nail on the head with all these details. And Boo, you brought up a point, something that me and Hondro are going to have to go work on. We need to get a details thread for everybody, so everybody knows all of the little details in the season 1 drop, because there are a lot of random little things that, like, I am just like shook even learning about some of the little things that were put into these garments. So, you know, I'm just proud of the people who put their name on the stuff. So
Yo, I'll point out one detail. That fucking hat, yo, the strap with the you know what, the buckle, it's got the Artifact logo on it. That had a mold had to get created to to cast that. You know, they're doing quality out here, y'all. Mad
Hey,
quality
yo,
props.
Boo, it's stuff like that that I really fuck with heavy. And when I see, I didn't really get any merch that had zippers. I got the Genesis tee, right? And I got that before I had my clone. But you saying that it got the YKK zippers, like that, I'm big on that heavy. Like when it comes to the denim, the shoes, the Japanese attire, like just like strong shit, you know what I'm saying? Things that can last for a long time, and it adds an extra little bit of weight to the clothing that might not need to have like a heavy thread count. You know, I like that stuff for
Yo,
sure.
POV, you
We
like
need to create a
vests?
chat for
There's
everyone,
plenty of
bro. We need
pockets
to
in that
create a
new
chat for
robot
that.
vest, baby. That's for you, man. Customize that thing. I want to see a POV robot custom vest. I want to get my clone on the back of the vest. That's what it's all for. Those pants, let's talk about the pants. The supply, it says the supply, and there's a number there. Why? So you can take it to a seamstress and get your clone number stitched on there. That's it. I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
that was sick. That blew me away for sure. Yeah, I'm out. That was crazy.
Yeah, got to give props to Zaptio, Travis, and Yelena, and a lot of the others that worked on that. There's I mean, you guys saw how much. I'll let Handra speak more. He knows.
Yeah, I was just wanted to like shout out all those team members like behind the scenes who, don't really have the social media presence, that like they made sure that the quality was not going to be one of those things that was complained about by the community. And so like I get the frustrations on the time and everything it took to get out, and there's been a lot of lessons learned from this drop for sure, and like tons of stuff that I've taken to the team of like things we need to do better and improve on going forward. But like it makes me happy seeing like everyone stoked on the quality, and then like especially for those team members behind the scenes who like have put in so much work and like made those tough calls on like the Murakami drip to just be like, no, like this isn't right. Like I don't care that we're getting killed on like how long this shit is taking to get out. Like we're going to deliver something that like we're happy to put our name on. And so like pulling all the Murakami drip stuff out and being like, this needs to get redone, and just like little things like that, like that, like now that people are getting them in hand and are super happy about, like it makes me just excited for all those people who have been like working tirelessly to like make sure that that quality is not the thing that's going to be like picked apart on like the hoodies and pants and vests and all this stuff. And so yeah, big shout outs to Travis, Yelena, Z, and just all our other behind the scenes people that have just been endlessly working to get all this stuff out the door.
Bro, I'm so excited to rock any of these shoes with this stuff.
Oh boy.
I'm so excited for y'all to get the like I'm excited to get the shoes, like both my crypto kicks and my Air Force Ones. I do have to say, like I guess I don't know if it's alpha or not. Like on the Air Force Ones, like right now everything's looking good on target. Like so far there's no slides like threatening our October delivery window. So like I'm so excited for you guys to like get these Air Force Ones in hand, like see all the quality and the details and like all the stuff that is so hard to like show off in a photo. Like once you get these in hand, like they're it's gonna be insane. For anyone who got to see them in Japan, they can vouch for that. But like the shoes are so dope in person.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think that was the one thing I wasn't prepared for in Japan, was seeing them in person and then realizing that I made the mistake of not buying more and all that jazz, and then trying to have Maximoni send me forging tokens, which shout out to Maximoni. That was actually made. Okay, I'm gonna blame LeBron as well, because the LeBron tweet went out and I couldn't help myself. I was like, all right, I know the rest of the DJ's gonna take them, and I don't know what to do. But yeah, I'm excited.
I was like about to hit buy now on a pair of Genesis, like before we even announced like the forging event, and like literally like as I'm going to click like buy now, I get a message from Zaptio's like, hey, we're about to announce that the forging event's live, nobody buy anything. And I'm like, God bless it. Like, and so I stopped hitting that buy now button. We made the announcement, and then floor shot up like 0.2, 0.3, and I was like, I'm gonna wait on this a bit. But I was excited when we made that announcement, seeing the reaction, and then yeah, seeing everyone who like saw him in Japan. It was I just can't wait for you guys to get them in hand. It's gonna be so dope seeing everyone post their full fit checks once these start making their way to people's houses.
Hey, I gotta say this. Please, please, please wear these. Please.
Oh, I'm wearing mine.
I had to get to, yeah, that's the only reason I got extras, Johnny, so I could at least like try to like, wear somewhere. And look, y'all, I told y'all about how I was gonna beat mine to dirt, but I know that some of these are like, especially the Genesis, like they're like leather, the interior, so it's not the same like type of Air Force One you can get real crusty and then feel like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. Like I'm gonna feel like I messed up some $500 shoes when
There.
I do this. So
I do got to say, after seeing MLMA customize hers, though, like I need to get some light pink laces for my Murakamis because that was a pretty sick look with the pink laces on those. So I think I need to go find a pair of light pink laces, and maybe I'll do some light blue ones too, and I can do the whole mismatch vibe.
that actually could be fire because I think that's one of those details too. The grommets, I think on the DNA and like the MK drips are different colors. So I got to double check that. But Shadow, what's good? You got the hand up. Uh-oh.
Shoot, I wasn't on mute. My bad. So quick question, and this is not like I'm just asking for clarity. Um, Me personally, I thought the skin vials and the crypto dunks, I thought they were kind of a part of the same universe since they came out of the same monolith box. But as like upcoming events, and I know this stuff is not in order, it has them separated. So, I mean, I'm assuming that's done on purpose. These are separate events. They're not the same event. Is that correct?
Think that's a really good question because the reason I would say that they're separated is the skin vials we talked about evolution process, and it's kind of important to note that that's something that exists. And then obviously people want to understand the crypto dunks as like a shoe that they might also buy. So just kind of highlighting the digital and physical components.
That and like it's kind of been hinted at with the like Rimowa bot that came out. Like the vials themselves were like there was always kind of like an intention there to be more than like just something that goes into the dunk. So it's not necessarily that like they're completely separated, but like there are some cases where like they're going to be differentiated from each other just because like there is that desire to have like a vial system that isn't solely based on the dunk ecosystem as well.
So would it be safe to say that like just for, just for sakes, I guess, that your two universal products are the CloneX themselves, and the skin vials. Because it seems like through all the different properties and things of that nature, it seems like the DNA pretty much is mixed in with pretty much everything that's came out and will probably come out. And as of right now, there's two products that have that built in, and so that's pretty much like the clones and the vials. So yeah, I mean, it kind of just explains more because I always thought, we've had conversations like, oh, well, what if the crypto dunks and the vials, that's the only thing the vials are for? And then I was like, oh, well, that's kind of sucks because then it's just, that you just lose a really great NFT that could be used for so much more. And it sounds like y'all are going to do that so much more part. So in my mind, I'm just going to view them as two separate ecosystems that interact with each other. But yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to think about it. Like I mean, I wouldn't say the vials are like all encompassing the same way like clones are, but yeah, they're definitely not meant to like solely be within one ecosystem for sure. So yeah, that's a very good way to think about them.
Sweet. It's funny hearing Hondros say some of these things on Spaces because I feel like the moment I hear him talk about some of the stuff, it feels like we're just in like a Google Meets like work call, and I don't know where it's gonna go afterwards. So yeah, it's fun. Johnny, I've got.
Well, I got Hondra up here. I
Let's
mean,
see what
Hondra,
you
you
got.
got any alpha on the crypto dunks? Any at all?
I mean, I got it in my head, and I'm not getting
Anything
fired.
that you can't get murdered on, obviously.
I mean, I'm just gonna say like these things are so sick. It's another one of those things. I'm so excited for people to like start seeing all the little details that again are so hard to come out in photos. Like,
So so you're hinting at the point where they're in the part of production where it's actually starting to form its quote unquote final identity in a way. It's like no one going.
I mean, they are where you guys saw that picture from. Like they're still like in that stage of the, you know, kind of development, testing, prototyping. Like they're in that stage. It's not like, you know, they're gearing up the factory line to start tomorrow type thing. So I think where that picture came out, like it was a pretty recent picture. So like they're in that stage, maybe a little bit advanced that because it's a couple weeks old at this point, but yeah, they're about in that stage right now. But they're dope. I mean, I've seen some other pictures, just kind of some close up stuff, and it's like they're not as polished the other pictures, obviously, so we don't want to show those off. But there's going to be some sick little details on there that get added over time too. That I think people are going to be super pumped on getting those things in hand. You know, when that time comes. I don't even know when that time is going to come, so I can't even let that slip if I wanted to. So
Completely understood.
Wouldn't be a town hall if it was almost wasn't an almost NDA situation, you know. So glad you came, Tondro.
yeah, don't get started. I got kids to feed.
Hey, it's all good. I think we're gonna wrap it up here soon. If there's no other questions, yeah, I feel like we hit a lot. If you guys didn't hear, this is recorded. You can just go back and listen through. I know we're gonna have more of these, and I want to definitely emphasize that we're gonna try to just continue to grow and make better lines of communication, so these, like, following along the story is just easier, and it's not so much of a hassle to understand all the moving parts. But you know, I just glad you guys are sticking with us and riding along and providing the insights, because you know, everybody's comments, feedback, all that stuff, like I've always said, it does get heard, gets used. Boo brought it up, you know, the alien puffer, that was a big topic for when it came out, and obviously directly changed how we were going to handle that situation. And so, you know, that's just one of many examples, I would say, and not even the best way. So, you know, I'm excited to see what comes next. We got the photo district up. What's going on? Let's see what you got for us before we head out.
Hey, just want to say I'm new to the CloneX community, and I have to give it to you guys. I've been in the metaverse space for now 3.5 years, and this is by far the hippest, coolest community I've been in so far. I like the sandbox. I'm part of that as well. I'm building in there, but I just recently purchased 2 clones, and I'm really digging it. But my question is, one, I tried to RSVP for the Anaheim event, but it's sold out. So how do I do that? 2, because I really like to come and live in Los Angeles. And 2, what would you, if you're new to the community, what should I be purchasing? I have the pods, I have 2 CloneXs, I have the Animus egg. Is there anything else I can get that I should be to get me into some forging event besides the Animus?
So first off, welcome, and I'm excited that you wanted to come to the LA event. I'm super hyped to meet you, and we'll definitely get to talk and chat in person. I would say if you're interested, I put a tweet out, and I have it pinned at the top about where you can go to RSVP, and there is I think the wait list was almost filled, but there should be another general wait list that was up just in case. We'll have emails and other things go out to people who RSVP'd if you went RSVP'd for Anaheim or Singapore. So just keep an eye out for those emails. Anything that looks sketch, feel free to DM us. But in regards to anything to keep your eye on for artifacts, I think the big thing that we were just talking about was the crypto dunks, and those were given to people for free via the monoliths. You basically got to reveal a random skin vial, which would add rarity to the base dunk. Uh, and the way our forging events work, if you hold the NFT, then you'll be able to go and purchase whatever the forging or physical item is. So it is going to have a physical version, and there is a cost that comes with that. So just keep that in mind if you are going to buy off secondary.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I guess that's it. I mean, I'm in it, so I'm going for the ride and enjoying it. So thank you.
I appreciate you coming. So obviously, one of the things I feel like we always got to do when we meet new people is get a little bit about them. I see you're into like photography and other things like that.
Yeah, I work in the entertainment field, so photography of celebrities and stuff like that. And I've been building a photo district out in the sandbox for photographers and create a community for people to come together in the Web3 space. It's inspired by my days living in New York City, but I recently moved out here to California to enjoy the sunshine.
Hey, slow down a little bit. Look, I was one of those people who always wanted to live in New York, and then ended up moving to LA, and now like I go to New York. I love you, boo, but damn, I don't know how New Yorkers do it. It's too intense some days. I'm like, y'all need to chill.
Yeah.
Like, but
that's true.
No.
That's true. But I'm looking forward to the hurricane getting ready to hit here this weekend.
Yeah, that's the. We're not going to talk about that. I'm just going to be staying indoors. It's pretty much what I do, anyways. But no, I'm excited to meet you, man. I think you're in the right place, especially if you're an artist or creative. Like that's really what this group is all about. So I would say just connect with some of the others. Follow some people. I'm sure some people will follow you back. And I know once you get out here to Anaheim, we'll have some people you'll get to meet, and we'll make some new friends.
Cool. Thank you.
Dope. Just let me know if you got any questions or need anything. Goes to anybody else as well. If you want to come hang out in Singapore, Anaheim, you got questions, need help, just let me know. Let Hondro know. Tommy, T-Swag, Connie, all the others will get you sorted. Same with any of the other issues. But if there's not any other things up, we got one last person requesting. This will be the last one, and then we go move on to the next part, which is me finishing up some work stuff. But oh damn, Chop Kicks is they're rugging.
Yo, what's good? Is it clear right now?
There we go.
Yeah, how's the Artifact community doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I have a question. Will we be having any events in like Middle East, Dubai, somewhere over here? I used to live in Anaheim, but we didn't have any events by that time, so I moved back home.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've gotten a few different requests. We've gotten a few different requests for like the Middle East area. I think there's been a few different people who've brought it up. And it could be cool. I'm one of those people that, especially when I try to help talk through some of these ideas with any of the community members, it's really about figuring out what people would be interested in and what would work for all the parties involved and the timing of it. So I think a lot of cool places in the Middle East that people would want to go. A lot of cool places in Europe. Love to see something in South America, Africa. I know Australia has never had like a huge one. I think there is a solid group down there. Want to hit all of the. It can't be a world tour if we're only hitting some parts of the world. But sweet, I'm excited. This has been a good spaces.
It has been a very quick week because there's been a lot of stuff going on for me, I feel like, and a lot of the others. And so it's like these weeks just keep flying by, cooking into the next one. But I'm excited. I'm really, really hyped to see this group grow, community grow, everything just keep building up to what we want it to be. So that's, oh, damn, y'all. I almost did it. I almost walked away, ended the spaces, and didn't play the outro. That would have been so classic, so silly. But guess what? We didn't forget. We did it. All right, that's it. I hope y'all had a good spaces. Until next time.